You know, you've got people that have come in and they've worked 15-hour shifts and they're tired and they're like, oh, training, and then they come in and by the end of it, they're leaving with smiles.
I think it's when you see our inner children
Yeah.
come out as well as theirs.
We walked in singing a Christmas song and everyone just looked at me. I think they were worried about me.
By the end of the 30 seconds, you've got people with tears just rolling. Go on, Charlie, tell me about some of the funny times you've had.
I think there's a couple for me that really stand out, and they're both quite different. So one is when we ask people to do a role play, and I think there's one group particular that we train and we kind of mention the word role play and all of a sudden they come to life, don't they? They jump up, they're like, yeah, and it actually makes the training really fun for them and they learn in that way. So then when we went to a completely new home, and we walked in and was like, right, role play. And it was, all I can think of is like that tumbleweed, just with the whole room just went silent. And we was thinking, is this going to work? Is this not going to work? And we really pushed them, didn't we, in the end? I was like, come on, just try something. And the first group, you could tell they were hating me throughout
Not enjoying it at
all.
all.
No. And then the second group, that one girl, do you remember? She had sat so quietly and she just came to life and just fully immersed herself in it. And actually the managers were like, wow, we weren't sure about her, but actually we've seen a really different side to her, like when she was coming into it. And I think that was hysterical, just watching that back and just thinking we'd expected something. And that's one that always stands out.
I think for me it was the Christmas one. That was probably... So Charlie loves a bit of Christmas,
Love
don't
Christmas,
you?
yeah.
Christmas themed, Christmas jumpers, Christmas t-shirts, your antlers.
I had light up antlers, and earrings, t-shirt. What else did I have? Did I have a sack?
You bought your stocking, your Santa stocking.
Full of gifts, like vegan, like all covered all dietary requirements, very inclusive, and walked in with my reindeer flashing, singing a Christmas song. And everyone just looked at me as if I think they were worried about me at that point. Yeah.
You pulled it back round though, didn't you?
I did. It took a while. I think when they realised there was stuff in the stocking. That was really funny. And I think you could tell that I was so geared up for like, it's Christmas. And that kind of explores the diversity of some of the people that we train. And actually it did just fall a little bit flat. However, for another group, they're all over that. It's like, come on. But that was hysterical. Yeah. I was trying to think of one with you as well, because I feel like when you've gone in, actually, I know for you, when you went up and you had a plan and you had a whole training schedule planned, and then you went in and you were, I can't remember what the topic was, and then it just changed on its head and they all just were like, what? And you just threw all them, but then they kind of came to life with it and got involved.
Yeah, I think you have to be really dynamic.
I think it's always the quiet ones I think that's funny. Yeah. It's always the people that come in really quiet and I think they're expecting kind of that death by PowerPoint training where you're sat and just listening. Yeah. And we can talk, but it's the quiet people that you think, oh, you're not quite getting it. And then they just do something really funny, or they just say something like a little one-liner and get the room going. And again, back to those role plays, you see that actually the reason they're in this job, like they work with kids and they've got that playfulness to them.
I think the worst is when we're trained together. That's probably the worst, because how we bounce off, both of us don't stop talking and we interrupt each other, and then we're like, oh, sorry, you were talking, but I just got a moment, and you can see people's heads almost spinning a bit like, here's the Truffle Sisters.
The egg, when we were like, this child, this is the egg and you've got to build a home, and I went one way and you went the complete opposite.
So my way was to drop the egg into the house that they'd built,
and I was like, no, you build it around and then we drop it. And we had like 10 people just looking at us like, well, what do you want to do then?
We was like, we'll smash some eggs and we'll keep some eggs safe in the house.
And actually, no, do you remember in Eastbourne, do you remember when the certain deputy manager changed their eggs?
Yep.
So then they're all there and they'd built all this loving thing around the egg, and they gave this whole speech. They'd name the child, which was the egg, and they were like, oh, we've put all of this around it, and we put layers because a child needs this, and you could tell they'd really listened to us. I think we'd been speaking about Maslow, and they were so happy, and you could just see this one deputy manager just like giggling a little bit in the background, and he'd switched it. So when they'd gone out the room, he'd put a raw egg in. So as they dropped it, just this raw egg, and they were like,
exploded.
well, we've done all this work. That was actually really funny. Yeah. I think, the eggs, I think me and you together, it can be great, but it just goes off.
We go off everywhere.
We do get him doing a lot of stuff though, like the beer pong, and trying to explain that. Why are you playing beer pong? And I was like, there's no alcohol in it. We're just playing
getting to know each other.
Fact-finding game. And I think it's about making training fun. And I always say you can deliver the most intense topics. And we do. We speak about some real kind of serious topics that can, they can sit with you. So actually, if you can add an element of fun to it, it just breaks it up a little bit. And the robot dancing.
I was just about to say the robot dancing and the laughing. So finding a YouTube clip of 2 minutes of robot dancing and saying, right, you've all got to get up and dance now. And people, the teams being like, here she goes again. I'm not doing that. I was like, come on. And actually, it's about showing that within 2 minutes of dancing, or the fake laughing, seconds, where by the end of the 30 seconds, you've got people with tears, just rolling.
Although you've always got that one person that's just standing there going, ha ha ha, ha ha ha, throughout like the 2 minutes waiting. But I love that though. That's what I love about with the training. I think you can deliver something, you can have some real hard-hitting topics, you can speak about things, and you've got people that have come in and they've worked 15-hour shifts, and they're tired, and they're like, oh, training, and then they come in, and by the end of it they're leaving with smiles, and they've gained some knowledge, and we're getting a few fist pumps from them as they walk in, and we're just getting to know the teams.
The other day when I went to one of the homes, and they've had a bit of a tough time, staff working hours.
That's when you were messaging me for games.
And I was like, right, I need some games, Charlie. And all of a sudden we're playing relay races where they're frog jumping across a hole and doing penguin walking and playing duck, duck, goose, which some of them didn't quite get the duck, duck, goose. But actually, again, everyone embraced it. And by the end of it, the whole atmosphere has changed, and then they're ready to learn something.
And I think, for me recently, it was the training that I went up, and it was really, you could see they were nervous and they weren't quite sure what we was going to talk about, and it was a sensitive topic. And then I was like, come on, come and get this off me, come and do this, come and do this. And they were like, what child? And they were laughing afterwards, but actually it was really good fun. But they were also saying, actually, that's really shown us that this is real life, this is what we're going to have to deal with, and actually that's how we can deliver that training. And some of our learners are really visual. I think a lot of them are visual, and you always get the odd person writing notes. I'm a note taker myself, but you can see that actually by having that mix between, I think we try and balance that out a little bit with them.
I think it's when you see our inner children come out as well as theirs.
It's fun for us a lot.